I should be alive. Just start by talking to myself. This is not what you think it is. It's actually meant to be a human body, a procedural animation. Yes, so when I ask it to answer in the chat, generate continuous code, which it did. It did ignore the answering in the chat bit. HTML, JavaScript, JSON, CSS, interactive simulation game, fully working, yeah, obviously. No code placeholders, yeah, which it didn't do any placeholders. That's good. A text overview at the bottom of the page, yes. Instructions at the bottom of the page, future improvements at the bottom of the page, yes, did all that, didn't ignore that. It's a procedural animation of human body that can walk around using keyboard and following the mouse. Yeah, the following the mouse bit is not quite there. Anatomically accurate, yeah, not sure. Controls for gait. Yes, we have stride, cadence, hip sway. Hip sway. Yeah, there's this funny thing with the mouse. Stride. Yeah, does that weird thing when the stride is too low to restart it. Yeah, there's couple of things. What we're trying to figure out though. Should we just go for a single shot prompt? Controls for gait. Yeah, the issues might be not clear. 3D body realistic joint limits, falling balance if misstepping. Yeah, okay, there's quite a few things. Quite a few things. Yeah, it's working backwards. The mouse. Yeah, the mouse is a bit funny. It's meant to be turning sideways. Turning sideways. Pum, 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 pum. Let's see. Okay, can we chat about this code real quick? There's a few issues with it. Can you start with one sentence? Response, quick responses.
Of course. Let's dive right in. What specific issues are you noticing?
Yeah, the mouse control is weird. The keyboard seem to be backward.
Got it.
Whoop, whoop.
All right, let's fix those controls. We can reduce the mouse sensitivity and check the keyboard direction logic so forward and backward movements match expectations. Want me to tweak those values and update the code for you?
Yeah, but there's quite a few issues. The mouse control is totally out of whack. There's also something wrong with the stride. The stride, when turned to the lowest setting, the whole character, the 3D character is all getting into like a fourth dimension or something. Something weird is happening. So there's that. Then there is the character is actually, the figure is not on the floor. It's like half way through the floor. Yeah, there's lots of things.
Thanks for the details. Let's tackle these issues one by one. We can adjust the mouse sensitivity so it's smoother, fix the stride parameters so it doesn't distort the character, and ensure the figure stands properly on the floor. I'll tweak the code to correct these behaviors. Sound good?
The mouse, it's not about the mouse sensitivity. There's something really wrong with the mouse control in general. We might want to redo the whole thing. I also don't like the locking of the cursor. What's that all about? Yeah, can we get rid of that as well?
Absolutely. If the mouse control feels fundamentally off, we can rethink how it's handled. Maybe switch from pointer lock to a more intuitive camera or character orientation system. We can definitely remove the cursor lock to make it more user-friendly and avoid that trapped feeling. Let's update the control scheme and refine the interactions.
Okay, are you updating the code?
Yes, I'll update the code to remove pointer lock, simplify the mouse control, and fix the other issues you mentioned. Give me a moment to make those adjustments.
Did you generate another canvas or something? Did you generate another canvas?
I didn't generate another canvas yet, but I can definitely update the code in the existing file to reflect all the changes we discussed. Let me handle that for you right now.
Yeah, I don't think it's actually. Have you finished generating the code? I'm not sure. I think you added another canvas. Can you generate the code in the chat? Regenerate the whole thing in the chat?
Sure, let me provide the updated code right here in the chat. I'll integrate the fixes to the mouse controls, remove pointer lock, and adjust the stride and floor alignment issues. Here we go. Document HTML audio titled Generate Continuous Code. Here's a single piece of code with all the updates we discussed. Make nothing special. The text area is small, canvas is margins completely black, cursor is always vertical. With styles organized among them, we barely need anything else. First, basic styles text.
What are you
HTML and body
talking
matter.
about? Okay, let's it's out of whack. Okay, it actually did start generating the code, which I didn't think the voice model will be able to do. We have like 2 canvases, yeah. It's the problem of having too many developers on the project. So how many do we have? Yeah, we have all. Why only 4? All doesn't support it. The other models don't support audio. Okay. So which one are we using now? I thought all 3 can do everything. And it didn't finish. Okay, can you regenerate from scratch all the code as with the changes as per the discussion above? We are using all 3 at the moment. Yeah, I don't like the mouse controls and everything like that. It's just a bit awkward. It's really awkward to control. Yeah, I have to move the mouse and use the keyboard, which is fine, but the way and then the mouse gets locked. Have the hips way working okay. The knee lift. Yeah, now it's not moving its knees at all. And we have yeah, it's doing something with the knees. Yeah, it's not turning or anything. Yeah, right.
All set. I've replaced the original file in the canvas with a fresh, fully working version that removes pointer lock and introduces simple click and drag yaw control, fixes keyboard mapping so KBWASD behave intuitively, constrains stride to prevent model distortions, seats the avatar firmly on the floor, no more half sinking.
Yeah, we're able to fix that bug in Visual Studio Code. Then we have to do it again. Right. I actually had to stop the deploy. So it's trying to deploy the thing on its own server as well. Oops. Okay, now it's actually working. It's a weird. Yeah, it's a really weird mouse control. Stride. Okay. Okay, that seems legit. Hip sway. This swaying the hips, but can you lift your knees up? Lift your knees up. We have those helpers. Ooh, just went through the screen. The shadow. Yep. Okay, can we go over this thing quickly? What changes did you make? Just a quick response and question.
Sure, I added an import map to ensure the 3 module is correctly resolved from the CDN, preventing the module resolution error. Everything
No,
else remains the same.
That's fine. Let's talk about the actual simulation.
Sure thing. Let's dive into the simulation details. What aspect of the simulation would you like to focus on first?
Yeah, the controls are still a bit weird. I don't quite understand how to control this thing.
Got it. The current controls let you click and drag the mouse to rotate the character horizontally and use the W, A, S, and D keys to move forward, backward, and sideways. If that still feels awkward, we can refine the rotation sensitivity or change the control scheme entirely. What would make it more intuitive for you?
Yeah, the walking with the keyboard is fine. I think the problem is that when we rotate, it's not actually rotating the character, it's rotating the whole viewpoint of the whole scene. Can you double check that?
Ah, I see what you mean. It sounds like the camera rotation is affecting the entire scene instead of just rotating the character independently. We can adjust the logic so that only the character model rotates based on mouse input, while the camera stays fixed or follows the character from a consistent viewpoint. I'll make that adjustment to ensure the character rotates independently of the camera.
Okay, we only got 15 minutes left with the voice model, even though we are paying for this. That's okay. It will just, in theory, just downgrade us to the previous model or something. Okay, can you update the code to address the mouse control of the character? Can you update the current canvas? Make sure you updating the correct canvas is the one that is currently open. Not sure if you can tell which one is which. I had some trouble with the canvas selection before. It's kind of hopeless asking the questions about itself.
Mouse drag now turns just the avatar, while a chase camera follows smoothly from behind. No more spinning the entire scene. Try the updated controls and let me know how they feel.
Okay, so everything seemed to stride. Okay, so stride seemed to be working correctly. A cadence. Yeah, probably correct. Not entirely sure. Maybe you can just explain the difference between them. Yeah, maybe just in the where the code is at the bottom of the page, can we add more explanation about each one of the controls, the details about it? The hip sway seemed to act correctly as well. The knee lift, I'm not entirely sure. Even if it's there, it's very minor change. So any suggestions as to how this can be addressed would be greatly appreciated. Yeah, we walked away from the panel.
I added a control details section that explains stride, cadence, hip sway, knee lift, and turn speed, plus a tip about boosting knee articulation. The knee lift slider's range now extends to 0.6, and its effect is amplified 1.5 times in the gate code, so higher values give a noticeably higher thigh raise. Give the updated file a spin and let me know if the explanations and knee motion feel right.
Okay, there are a couple of things. Yeah, the info is okay. The knees are better now. There is with the mouse control. Is there any chance I can view the character walking sideways? Yeah, we need to somehow, if any suggestions, need to improve the control of the character, but I should be able to see it walking back and forth. Currently, back and forth keyboard shortcuts are doing the same thing. And then the other problem with that is that I can, with the control, the mouse control, that I cannot view the character moving sideways. I'm not sure how would you suggest addressing that. The idea is that we would eventually like to add an obstacle on the panel within that within the room, and see how the character is getting over it. So I guess we have to stop. Let's actually run it locally as well. No, wait, that's the previous. It's the previous version, is it? Not sure. Yeah, you can actually walk out of the room or whatever.
Stride, step length, how far the foot swings forward back. Cadence, step rate, steps per second. Speed equals stride, cadence, viewing the walk from the side. Right drag or tap QE now orbits the camera independently of the avatar, so you can swing the view 90 degrees and watch side on while the character sidesteps or walks forward back. Does that solve the see it walking sideways need, or would you prefer a one key side view toggle instead? YW and S may feel the same because the camera can orbit anywhere. Forward is always the direction the avatar is facing. If you're viewing from the front, W makes the character walk toward you and S walks away. From the side, WS move it left-right relative to your screen. If you'd like screen space forward-back, the way third-person shooters work, we can add that as an alternate mode. Next step, obstacles. When you're ready to test clearance or stepping over objects, I suggest 1. Drop in obstacles. Press a key to spawn a box at the avatar's feet. 2. Simple collision detection that lifts the swing foot if it would hit a box. proof of concept step over. 3. A toggle to show the contact volume so you can debug foot obstacle interactions. Let me know. Do you want a quick side view hotkey? Should we add the obstacle prototype now or refine the controls first?
Yeah, lots of good questions. Yeah, this will be a very long project. This will be a very long project. Which programmer is the best? Yeah, we have to obviously start the new chat. Yeah, let's do a new chat. So can you program this thing entirely in the ChatGPT in the web? Yeah, not sure how it works. What if we start with 4.0? Hey, can you start a new canvas? We'll pop some, we'll copy paste some code into it. Okay, that's promising. Okay, I have the code. It's running okay. What are you talking about? Can run it just fine, but not in the canvas. Sup. If the title, there's something wrong with the title, is there? Don't get it. Don't get it. Is there something wrong with the canvas itself, or don't think there's anything wrong with the code because it's running fine. Yeah, and it's making changes forever. I don't see what the problem is. It's actually running already. Hey, we have all the keyboard shortcuts for navigation doing exactly the same thing. Can you explain why and potentially try and fix that? Yeah, I can't really see the heap sway because it's basic.
Looking at the code, I can see the issue. The keyboard controls are indeed implemented but in a very condensed way that makes it unclear. The problem
Okay. Yeah, so it started with all three actually. Yeah, now it's hallucinating on me. Yeah, that's what happens when you have too many developers in the house. Too many developers in the house. Don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah, all the keyboard controls are still doing the same thing. What just happened to the shadow there? There's something weird. Hey, can you find any issues with the controls, the keyboard shortcuts, and the mouse as well? How the characters being controlled on the screen? Currently, it seems like all the keyboard buttons do the same thing. They result in the same type of motion. Can you check that and potentially fix the code? I can't really test the knee lift because it's because I can't view the character sideways.
I've analyzed the movement controls and found an issue. The avatar's movement direction is always based on the avatar yaw, but the actual animation of walking doesn't match different directional inputs. When you press A/D for side steps, it still uses the same forward/backward walking animation. Let's fix.
Okay, can you fix it quietly? It looks like the code is currently incomplete. Can you have a look?
You're right, the file is cut off at the end. Let me.
Uh, which which model should we use? Let's just redo with O4 Mini. Not gonna be the end of it, would it? manage. Okay, let's do a 4 quickly. Can you change the color of the person character to red?
Index.html. Change the material.
Yeah, you can do it quietly. And then let's try. Yeah, we had a lot of luck with 3.7 Sonnet Claude before. Yeah, the difference is that we don't have all three. All three seem to be pretty good. Let's try Gemini 2.5. It's meant to be a really good model for coding, supposedly. The camera is currently locked on the figure front view and I can't see it walking sideways, backward or forward. Can we fix that somehow?
Okay, I can help with that. The current camera logic correctly orbits the character based on mouse input, CamOrbit, but it always looks at a fixed point slightly above the character's root. We can adjust this look at target to be slightly lower, perhaps focusing more on the center of mass or the pelvis, which might give a better view of the walking motion from different angles. Here's the plan.
Doesn't sound like it, but let's see what it does. Okay, no, that didn't help. Can we not lock the camera on to the same point of the character?
Okay, I understand. Instead of having the camera rigidly look at a fixed offset from the character's root, we can introduce some smoothing to the camera's target point. This will make the camera lag slightly behind the character's movement, giving a less locked-on feel. Here's the plan. Introduce a new 3.vector3 variable, camera target, to store the point the camera is currently looking at. Initialize it near the character's starting position. In the
Why is so complicated? Um, Okay, no, that's doesn't really work. We don't want it to be so complicated. We want just to follow the character along, but when walking sideways, it should be walking sideways.
Okay, I understand. You want the character model itself to orient towards the direction it's actually moving, especially during sidesteps, and have the camera simply follow along without the complex smoothing. Here's the plan. Calculate the character's actual world space velocity vector each frame. Determine the desired facing direction, target yaw, based on this velocity. If moving, face the movement direction. If stopped, face the direction set by the mouse, avatar yaw. Smoothly rotate the character model, bones.pelvis.rotation.y, to align with this target yaw. Revert the camera's look at logic back to directly targeting a point near the character's root, removing the smoothing added previously. Index.html. Modify character orientation logic and simplify camera targeting. Existing code. Script type equals module. Import asterisk as 3 from 3. Import GUI from https://cdn.jsdlivr.net/npm/lil-gui at 0.19.
Okay, we don't need to read the code, do we? Do you think anyone will be reading code? Okay, yeah, that's exactly what I meant. Can we add an obstacle on the floor just under knee high?
Okay, I can add a knee-high obstacle to the scene. Index.html. Add code to create and position a box mesh representing the obstacle. Existing code. Script type equals module. Import asterisk as 3 from 3. Import GUI from http.
Okay, now the character is just walking through the obstacle. Can we modify that so it's trying to actually step or jump over it?
Okay, I will modify the animation logic to make the character attempt to step over the obstacle when approaching it. This involves detecting when the character is close to the obstacle and moving towards it, passing this information to the StepAnim function, modifying the StepAnim function to increase knee lift when stepping over is required. Index.html. Update the animate loop to detect obstacle proximity and modify the StepAnim function call and definition to handle the step over logic. Existing code. / animation loop * const vel equals new 3.vector3. Const move direction equals new 3.vector3 / track primary movement direction. Let phase equals 0, last equals performance.now /1e3.
Okay, can you do it quietly? Can you do it quietly? Because we are vibe coding, we're not actually reading the code, do we? Okay, now the code is incomplete. What did you do? The code is incomplete. What did you do? Can we finish the script?
Apologies, the previous response was incomplete. Here is the corrected ending for the script block. Index.html.
Okay, do we need a different model for this or what? Just do 3.7 thinking or not? Claude, let's do regular 3.7. Should be able to finish the code. For some reason Gemini 2.5 is thinking I can do it myself. No, I cannot. I'm thinking if I understand the models correctly, if we have this prompt for generating the code. Yeah, I want to do it in the chat. Or not in the chat, let it decide by itself. Not able to complete the code. Just wait. Yeah, try another version. Evolve 3, we expanded the original prompt.
I've dropped a complete self-contained HTML file into the canvas for you. It renders a physics-driven human rig that walks toward the mouse, obeys joint limits, and can clear or trip over the knee-high obstacle. A right-hand GUI lets you tweak gait parameters on the fly, and the bottom panel includes an overview, instructions, and ideas for taking the demo further. Give it a try and let me know what you'd like tweaked or expanded.
I'm pretty sure one of the dependencies do not work with this new version.
Looking at the code, I see that the file ends abruptly midline. The JavaScript event handler for the toggle info button is incomplete.
The module paths are now fully qualified CDN URLs, no bare specifiers, so browsers can load everything without an import map or build step. Reload the page from your local web server, and the failed to resolve module specifier 3 error should disappear. Let me know if you hit any other snags or if you'd like further tweaks. Apologies, the code was still truncated. Let's do this systematically.
In the chat, can you explain the characters always just crashing into the obstacle and falling into beats? Hey, can you explain why is that happening and how do I prevent how do I actually move it around? Guess we have two versions. One actually can walk around properly. But this one's just walking through the obstacle. And then we have another one that's just crashing into the obstacle. In a spectacular fashion. Okay, step height. Well, yeah, currently I'm not able to do anything. It just crashes straight away. I'm not able to restart the simulation with different parameters. Was that the idea?
I've added a reset button and R hotkey, a walk toggle, checkbox, or P key, and started the Avatar 2M in front of the block so you can tweak gate parameters before moving. Quick use case. 1. Reload the page. The figure stands still. 2. Adjust step height to 0.45 meter if you want to clear the obstacle. 3. Click walk or press P. The pelvis propulsion engages. 4. If it falls, press R or hit the GUI reset to snap everything back to the start pose. Let me know if this behaves better or if you'd like any further tweaks, like obstacle removal, variable height blocks, or smarter balance control.
The character detects the obstacle when it's within obstacle_check_distance, 1.0 unit, and moving generally towards it, not backward or purely sideways. If these conditions are met, the is approaching obstacle flag becomes true. This flag is passed to the StepHanum function. Inside StepHanum, if is approaching obstacle is true and the leg is currently swinging forward, based on the gait phase V and GT, 0.5, the knee lift, knee, is increased by step_over_knee_boost, 0.4 units. Okay, I understand. The obstacle detection and knee lift logic exist, but the visual effect isn't working or is imperceptible, leading the character to appear to phase through the obstacle. Here's a plan to make the step over interaction more noticeable. Increase knee boost *, make the extra knee lift significantly larger when stepping over. Add hip boost *, slightly increase the forward hip rotation, lifting the thigh when stepping over. Add vertical root boost *, add a small vertical lift to the character's main body, root, when approaching the obstacle to simulate the effort of stepping higher. Looking at the code, I can see a few issues that might be preventing the obstacle interaction from working properly. Logic error in the obstacle detection. There's a precedence issue in this condition, move direction.z greater than 0. This is evaluated as move direction.z 0, which doesn't check what we want. It should be move direction.z greater than 0. Obstacle distance might be too restricted, the detection distance might be too small. Debug visualization. We're not seeing any visual feedback to know if the obstacle detection is firing. Let's fix these issues. Index.html. Fix the
Yeah, the canvas thing is not really working well. Keeps asking me questions. Yeah, we have this character walking around pretty well. Then it's interacting with this obstacle in a weird way. Yeah, we'll need probably another like hour or so to actually fix this. Unfortunately, and we have another simulation where it just where the character is just running into the obstacle and crushing into many pieces. And yeah, and a bunch of attempts that don't work at all. Yeah, the interaction is there, but it's not great. You'd think these models will be doing much better, but no. No. Anyway, we delete version 4. We only left with essentially 1, 2, and 3. This was the original one that we made a while back, so it's not great. Then we have this one, which is probably the most promising so far. Except the interaction with the obstacle needs a way more work. And yeah, this one probably can get rid of. It is interacting, but in a kind of singular way. Yeah, this was meant to have an option to set your settings, like the step height, before you run the simulation. But I don't, even if we get it to work, I'm not sure it's gonna help much. So yeah, everything we do eventually appears on bionickchaos.com. Go check it out. Obviously, all these games are biomedical data science related. Yes, we're trying to wean AI as impossible as it sounds. Yeah, so it is possible. Here's your evidence that you can actually win AI. But yeah, good luck. Good luck to you all. Yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.